Hello guys, welcome back to another video in Helping Little Gems. My name is Vishal and today I'll be teaching you about Roman numbers. So let's get started. Now, there are 7 different Roman numeral symbols which are I, which stands for 1, V, which stands for 5, X, that stands for 10, L, that stands for 50, C, that stands for 100, D, which stands for 500, and M, which stands for 1000. In this video especially, we'll be dealing with the first 4 Roman numeral symbols, which are I, V, X, and L. This will be for a later video. Now, these symbols are combined in a specific manner to write other numbers in Roman numeral form. These Roman numerals are used in analog clocks and watches and in many different antiques and all those kind of stuff. So there are 4 rules in writing Roman numerals. Let's have a look at them. When a Roman numeral is repeated more than once, we add its value to each time to get the number. So over here in the first example, we've got 2 ones written together. So since we've got 2 ones, we add the value up and we get 2. So the number 2 written in Roman numeral form is II. Similarly, we've got the number 20. Now, if you write 2 tens, the Roman numeral for 10 is X, right? So if you write 2 X's together, that is 10 plus 10. So that's equal to 20. So the Roman numeral form of 20 is XX. Similarly, the Roman numeral form of 30 is XXX. X written 3 times because that's 10 plus 10 plus 10. I hope you get the idea. Note, the same symbol can only be repeated 3 times, not more than that. Okay, so you can't write 40 as X X X X. No, you can't write 40 as this. No, you can't write. Okay, and the symbols V, L, and D are never repeated. Now V stands for 5, L stands for 50, and D stands for 500. So just remember that any symbol that has a 5 in it cannot be repeated. Okay, let's move on to rule number 2. When a smaller Roman numeral is written to the right of a greater Roman numeral, the value of the greater Roman numeral is added to the smaller numeral. Okay, so let's look at the first example, VI. The value of V, as I said before, is 5. Right, and the value of I is 1. So when you write VI together like this, you add the value of V and I together. That is 5 plus 1, which is equal to 6. So 6, when written in Roman numeral form, is VI. Similarly, we've got XII. So what the Roman so X represents 10, right? And II represents 2, as we've seen in this slide before. Or you can write it as 1 plus 1. That's for simplicity. I wrote it like that. So when you write it like this, you add the values of X, I, and I. So 10 plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 12. XXVI. The value of X is 10, the value of V is 5, and the value of I is 1. So we can write this as 10 plus 5 plus 1, which is equal to 26. So this Roman numeral is in fact 26. Okay, I hope you got that. Let's move on to rule number 3. When a smaller Roman numeral is written to the left of a greater Roman numeral, it is always subtracted from the value of the greater Roman numeral. Over here, we have got IV, okay? So V is 5, I is 1. I is written on the left hand side of V. So in this case, we subtract the value of V from from I. So this Roman numeral the value of this Roman numeral is 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4. So 4 when written in Roman numerals is IV. Similarly, we've got Ix over here. X is 10 and I is 1, right? So I is on the left hand side of X. So the so this Roman numeral, when you find its value, it comes out to be 10 minus 1, which is 9. So 9 when written in Roman numeral form is Ix. Please note that the symbol I can only be subtracted once. That means you can only have one I before a greater Roman numeral. Okay, you can only have one I. And the symbols V, L, and D are never subtracted like this. Okay, V stands for 5, L stands for 50, and D stands for 500. So, like I said, any Roman numerals that has 5 in it are never subtracted, never added, never added together, nothing like that. Okay, remember the first rule what I said. Okay, let's move on to the last rule. When a smaller Roman numeral is placed in between two greater Roman numerals, then its value is subtracted from the value of the greater Roman numeral on its right. So let's look at the examples. You've got XIX. Over here, we take this separate, x as separate, and this ix as separate, okay? The value of x is 10. And the value of ix, as we saw in the previous slide, was 9. So this Roman numeral is actually 19. And let's look at the next example, XXIV. Let's take XX together and IV together. XX is 10 plus 10, 20. And IV is 5 minus 1, 4. So the value of this Roman numeral is 10 plus 10 plus 4 equal to 24. So there you have it. Those are the 4 rules that you have to keep in mind while writing Roman numerals. Okay. Now let's move on to some questions. Now write the following in normal form. So you got to write the value of these Roman numerals. You can pause the video and work them out. I will directly write the answers. Okay, so you've got X and II. So 10 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, 10 plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 12. In this question, we've got XXVI. Okay, so XXX is 10 plus 10, right? And since this 1 is on the right hand side of V, we add the values of V and I. Plus 5 plus 1, which is equal to 26. Please forgive my horrible handwriting. I'm so sorry. I'll write this properly. 12. Okay. XXIV. Since I is before V, we subtract the value of V from I. Okay. So XXX is, as you guessed it, 30. So that's 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus this unit together. And that is 4. Right, so this is 34. Okay, now XLI. Now this is a special case. You know how I wrote 4 before, right? It is IV, right? Think of instead of I, what if I write X? And instead of V, what if I write L? The value of L is 50, right? And the value of X is 10. When you write IV like this, we take it as 5 minus 1, right? Which is equal to 4. Similarly, over here, we write it as 50 minus 10. So that is equal to 40, right? Okay, this XL is 40, and there's I in front of that XL, so we add the value of that one. So this is technically 40 plus 1, which is equal to 41. Okay, we've got XLIX here. You know, this is 40 and this is 9, right? So 40 plus 9, which is equal to 49. Very good. Okay, now let's move on to like some more questions. These are the last questions. Please trust me on this one. Now we've got to write these numbers in Roman numeral form. Okay, you can pause the video and work them out. I'll solve them right now. Now 37 is equal to 30 plus 7, right? Which is equal to x, x, x. Now this is 30, right? And now how do you write 7? V, I, right? So this is 37. Now 24. 24 is nothing but 20 plus 4. So 20 is just 2 x's and 4 is IV. This is 24. 7 is just 7, and yeah, like I said, it's just, oh sorry. Okay, it's just VII. Okay, 46. Remember how I wrote 40 in the slide before? It's just x. Wait, I'll write it in terms of 40 plus 6. Okay, and 40, remember how I wrote it in the slide previous? XL, right? And what is 6? VI. So this is 46. Last number 18. So this is 10 plus 8, right? And this is equal to, what is the Roman numeral for 10? X. And for 8, it is 5, 6, 7, 8. VII. So that is 8, right? So that's it for today's lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out our other videos and stay safe until we meet again. Thank you.